To order mayor and town council meeting for Tuesday, January 13th, 2026 in the Worcester County Government Center, boardroom, room 1102. If you take a look at your agenda, we need to look at number 1 and we need to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. You may be seated. We have a proclamation for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual birthday recognition, and we have with us today Dr. Maria Blake. If you would come forward, and council, would you join me? Proclamation honoring the life and legacy of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on the occasion of his 97th birthday. Whereas on January 19th, 2026, our town, state, and nation will honor the life and work of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with celebrations and programs dedicated to social justice and equal economic opportunity. And whereas Dr. King became a martyr to those causes, sacrificing his life and future comfort fighting for the principle that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And whereas nearly 58 years after his untimely demise, our society continues to struggle to achieve the goal of character over color by striving to understand one another from our historical roots to the conduct of our everyday lives. And whereas the annual observance of the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. provides us the opportunity to recommit our hearts and energies to the kind of world where all can live in peace and harmony as brothers and sisters under God, overcoming prejudice, discrimination, and suspicion of those who are not exactly like us. And whereas working together as we can ensure that Americans of all ages have free and equal access to honorable employment, financial stability, and affordable housing. Now, therefore, I, Janet Simpson, Mayor of the town of Snow Hill, Maryland, on behalf of the town council and all citizens of our community, do hereby proclaim that Monday, January 19th, 2026, is officially recognized and embraced as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day in the town of Snow Hill, and I strongly encourage all of us to dedicate our thoughts and our aspirations to the day when our communities across America can truly say we are free at last. Proclaim this 13th day of January in the year 2026, attested by Rick Pollock and Janet Simpson. And I would like to present this to Dr. Blake. And she is, do you have any other members with you?
No,
or yes, and tell everybody exactly what your organization is very quickly.
African American Heritage Society of Snow Hill and surrounding areas.
Okay. All right. So we want to present this. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Okay, and now we have a citizen spotlight, and it's for the Snow Hill Lions Club. So if all the members would come forward, please, at this time. And council, you can join us also as soon as they all get up.
And you can exercise.
And Pete, are you president?
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce your Lions members here? Will you come to me?
Yeah. Dave Bruning. Yeah, Brooks Clavel, Barry Laws, Pat Dietrich, and Bill Gordy are here tonight. And they're some of our stronger, older.
Okay.
No, the older.
Well, I would like to, this is a citizen spotlight, and we would like, this is a certificate of commendation presented to the Snow Hill Lions Club for outstanding public service through the excitement of their annual Christmas parade and ongoing contributions in support of our community. Whereas the Snow Hill Lions Club was chartered on April 15th, 1946, and for nearly 80 years has been an essential participant and contributor to the quality of life enjoyed by so many in the Snow Hill community. And whereas with the hard work and dedication of its members, the Snow Hills Lions Club organizes and hosts an annual Christmas parade, bringing joy and excitement to kids of all ages at the beginning of the Christmas season. And whereas the work of the Snow Hill Lions Club as members of Lions International, the largest service organization in the world, reaches far beyond the parade to include charitable support of Lions priorities in sight and hearing, conservation, as well as filling many local needs among both agencies and individuals through various fundraisers such as chicken barbecues and fresh sausage sales. Whereas the members and leadership of the Snow Hill Lions Club devote countless hours and personal resources living up to the Lions motto of "We Serve." It is only fitting that a grateful community acknowledge this remarkable organization and publicly thank them for all they do to boost the quality of life in Snow Hill and her residents. Now, therefore, I, Janet Simpson, Mayor of Snow Hill, do hereby recognize the Snow Hill Lions Club for outstanding service to the community and issue the certificate of commendation as our citizen spotlight for January 2026. I further call upon all friends and neighbors throughout Snow Hill to be aware of the generosity of our Lions and support them in their good work at every opportunity with a resounding Lions roar. Presented this 13th day of January 2026. So I congratulate you. And you got to shoot in close.
Sure. That's pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
Just a little bit more.
Smile.
All right.
Thank you.
And thank you. Yeah. See you.
Thanks.
Okay, number 5, approval of minutes. We have December 2nd, 2025 work session, December 9th, 2025 special meeting and closed session, December 9th, 2025 regular meeting. Do you have any additions, corrections, or have they already been sent in? Hearing none. Do I have a motion to accept those 3 sets of minutes?
I make a motion to accept those 3 sets of minutes.
Do I have a second?
I'm abstaining from those because I try to listen to it on, I agree with December 2nd, 2025 work session minutes, but December 9th special meeting and regular meeting. some of it I couldn't hear, and I wasn't here.
Okay. Ms. Lee,
Madam Chair, I would like to put a substitute motion in on order. I don't want to abstain because I was there.
Can you
speak
up, please?
okay, pull that,
I
pull
don't
that.
want to abstain on the motions, but it's already been said. I tried to listen because there's something I was looking for in the minutes that I didn't find. And I don't want to come back to it, having vote for it and have to come back. So
Okay, let me go back then. I'll take each one of these separately. So let me go to December 2nd, 2025 work session. Is there a motion to accept those minutes?
I make a motion to accept December 2nd, 2025 work session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that is passed. Now, do I have a motion to accept December 9th, special meeting and closed session?
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Do I have a second? Okay, so they're hearing no second, then I will go to December 9th, 2025 regular meeting. Do I hear a motion to pass those minutes?
I make a motion to pass those minutes.
Do I have a second? Hearing none, we will come back to those two at the next town meeting. But December 2nd, 2025 work session is passed. Treasurer's report number 6. Councilperson Fletcher.
The November balance, $4,311,600, $4,311,063.08. And then in December, it was $3,879,639.88. And I am asking, Melissa, could she talk about our overages? And, you can tell us at the end of why we have the, big gap in our,
So there's annual expenses that happen in the, December. One of them is the Maryland State Retirement Annual Bill. It's $215,000. It includes the LEOP and the rest of the town employees. There was also $40,000 in software support, maintenance support that's due in December. The payment to the county for the, yes, was paid at $25,000 in December. Delmar Power is $28,000. And then, $44,000, this is for the grant, I think, for the,
Yes, grant.
so that's why the higher is, expenses in December.
And then also to expand on the 30, 60, 90 days. The 30s are people who are going to be billed in February. So that's when we start our collections and trying to send out those 2-week notices saying, hey guys, remember us. That'll be our first. Our 60 is down, which is good. The 90 days have our foreclosures. It has about $20,000 locked up in leaks right now. And so it has at least 2 tax sales that are currently in there. That's what's sitting in our 90 days. That's why that number is always going to be a bit higher. But that's where your tax sales sit. That's where, while leak adjustments are going, usually because by the time that someone finds out that they have a leak and having that done, doing the adjustments and crediting the account, that's where that balance sits out for right now. And right now, like I said, we have about $20,000 in leak adjustments that need to be credited to that 90 days.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions from council? Councilperson Lee, got any other questions? All right, do I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the treasurer's report is approved. Next on the agenda is town manager's report.
Yes, ma'am. I do have a correction in my report on the second page under upcoming meetings. The monthly projects progress meeting with George Miles and Bureau that normally takes place on the first Thursday of the month is going to be changed from February 5th. We've got a new conflict in the schedule that day. We're looking at Monday, the 9th of February, but I'm waiting for staff to respond on their availability. But we'll let everyone know when that's been rescheduled. So it will not be this Thursday or that Thursday, February 5th. And secondly, I just want to make note with a great deal of sadness that we are aware of the passing of former Councilwoman Jenny Hall. She passed away over Christmas holidays and unattended. And we've been trying to find some information about her passing and especially any kind of arrangements going forward because it's appropriate because she did spend a full term and a partial term as a member of the county council. We need to recognize that service, but we haven't been able to get very much information yet about that. And once we do, we will share that with the public because we owe her that much gratitude for her service to the public in town. So we just want to let you know that Jenny did pass and we're going to try to share whatever news we come up with as soon as we have it.
All right, thank you for that. Anything else you want to add?
That's all.
Is that it? Council, do you have any questions of Mr. Pollitt?
No.
No? Okay. Department report, economic development, Ms. Gibbons.
Good evening. I have nothing to add to my report. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I just want to express gratitude for my colleagues in Town Hall for help orienting me this past month. The various projects that are under development in the economic development office.
Council members, any questions for Ms. Davis? Code enforcement, Mr. Brandon.
Just an update. We did have a very good work session, virtual call today with the consultant, Waltz Montgomery. Talk about the progress on the comprehensive plan. We're working on an updated questionnaire survey to be circulated soon. We have a January 26th Planning Commission workshop. So we'll encourage people to attend. I did receive word today that the Maryland Department of Planning has approved or had no objections to the annexation plan. The county has also endorsed that. So I think we have a planning or a council meeting coming up on that for a public hearing. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Council, any questions? I know, we have an extensive report here. All the permits and the planning and zoning activities and complaints and the resolution of those complaints. Any questions?
No.
No? Mr. Lee? Ms. Fletcher?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, Public Works, Mr. Barfield,
Have nothing else to add, Mayor.
nothing else to add? Okay,
Is Selby sign when are they supposed to install the new sign at the corner of Federal and Church? One that somebody tagged.
Talked to you gentlemen, last Friday after spoke to you on Thursday, and he assured us it'd be by the end of this week or the middle of next week. I will contact Selby Sign Company again tomorrow to make sure that they're on board with it, because they had to make, some of the stuff for the sign once it got in.
Said there were 3 sewer blockages.
Yes.
Dare I
one-
ask what was blocking the sewer? One was on, East Market Street,
Okay.
sewer main. The other sewer blockage was, on the end of Ross Street, South Ross, all the way to the last house on the right. And the other one was over on the corner of Dayton and Martin.
Okay. Thank you, Randy.
Any other questions?
There's one other thing, Mayor. If anyone sees people messing or tearing things up in these parks or anywhere else in town, if they would please get in contact with Chief Andy or one of his officials and let them know where it is and when it's going on, it'd be a big help to us, because we're now missing, I just found out, some of the throw life rings that are in Bird Park. There are none now. They were in there, and now they're gone. So we've had that vandalism going on. We've had it going on the brick pavers. It was there for the Black Eyed Susan. When that walkway was done in the river, we've had to replace. And we've had other things tore up in Sturgis Park along with that, as far as time clocks and things like that. So if anyone happens to see anything, just please tell Chief Andy or something so we can take care of the issue.
It's good to know, and thank you for letting us heads up on that. And anybody in citizen wise, see anything, certainly let us know. Water and wastewater, Mr. Wilt,
Yep, I have nothing new to add, but I'll take any questions.
okay. Any questions for him? No?
No.
Okay. Mr. Brissette, Grant's office.
I have nothing further to add unless
Okay.
anybody has a question.
Okay. Good. Other questions?
No.
Margaret, you good?
So the project restore grants are all,
Mhm.
could you fill us in about those and?
Sure. So I'm hoping everybody's noticed at 110 Green Street, the building that was kind of derelict next to the train store is being completely redone. The total of that grant was $178,111 from the Department of Housing and Community Development, basically to restore a building, but also to finance a new business coming to town. That grant went through some trials and tribulations, and with the awesome assistance of Downtown Snow Hills, particularly, and Diana Nolte and Olga, but Diana Nolte is as we all know her, and she is an unstoppable force. And she helped get that in, and so we had to get a short extension, which I've been assured we are okay with the state. And soon we will have Capriccio's books, and that's a big space, and that is gonna be a lot of books. It's gonna be a really good addition to the town, I think. But everything's going super smoothly. Everybody was on hand, all hands on deck. The contractor really pushed everything through. Our planning and zoning department helped facilitate everything to get moving, and it looks like, although we will be a little bit behind schedule, we have been cleared by the state, and in the next couple of weeks, everything should be done. I was in there looking at the space yesterday, and there's some loose ends that need to be tied up with finishing the space. The books have to be moved in by the end of this month, so that we're on the subawardee has timelines that are more strict than the timeline I'm giving at this point. So everything's moving along. It's a win-win for the town, and we are in total compliance.
It's always good to hear. Does that help? All right, Julia Espinel Museum. Dina,
I have
what's
nothing to
that?
add.
Nothing to add?
Answer any questions if you have them.
Questions?
Yeah, what was the nature of the material that was encrypted that we're having a problem decrypting?
We don't know. We just don't.
It could be anything,
It could be anything.
digital media, recordings.
I would have liked to recovered it because it would have been nice to have anything that we wouldn't have to recreate if we had digital, our logos, our papers, our pamphlets, whatever, so that we have no clue.
How much stuff was actually encrypted? Everything?
Everything that I know of,
The total digital loss?
total digital.
So pretty much we were able to recover some file, but it was mainly pictures. That was all. Everything else was hidden behind, basically it's a wall that's put up that is hooked to an email, that's probably hooked to another email. So it's a number of walls that's put up and we cannot.
And this was put in by Dr. Bird?
Yes, it was. And we had an expert look at it and he said he couldn't operate.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Police Department, Chief McGee.
Only thing I'll add for clarity, there are now 2 Chief Andys, so make sure you get the right one. One I
Andrew.
That's right.
Much younger,
The much younger, better,
Much younger, better looking, but yeah.
nothing to add.
Anything for Chief McGee?
No.
Good. Fire Department, I am very excited to introduce, the new chief, of the fire department, Andrew McGee. Quillen, I mean, so can we call it, do you want to be called Andy?
Andrew,
Andrew, you,
don't call me late for dinner, right?
yeah. We're glad that you are here and, a part of the fire department, and I've known you since, yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, so, but glad that you're here.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions for Chief, Quillen?
I'd just like to introduce one of my fellow members of the department, this is President John Atkins. So hopefully you'll be seeing him with me here at the town meetings, and our door's always open. So you guys, town officials, the public, if you ever need anything, feel free to reach out to any of us, leave a message for us, and we'll be happy to get back with you.
Okay, well, and also thank you for helping us out with the goat drop. That
Yes, ma'am.
was a big success, and kids loved it. It was so much fun. Okay, Snowville High School, is Savannah here?
No, she's not here.
I don't see her. All right, we need to check on her. All right, unfinished business, disposition of surplus property at 301 Willow Street. And, Mr. Pollitt, you want to give some information about that so far?
Yes, there's actually a connection to this property with the hearing that we held earlier back in 2023. While the town council was approving a list of surplus properties that included the firehouse, they also included 301 Willow Street. There's been quite a bit of conversation sporadically since then, and actually before then, about proposals to save the property, convert it to some use similar to what it was in the past, or do something going forward, and we just haven't been able to nail anything down. In the meantime, I don't like the firehouse. The properties continue to deteriorate. It now is generating complaints from the neighborhood for its condition. It's a threat to public safety. It's obviously an eyesore, and so the council had entertained several proposals. The last one that was on the table, a deadline was presented to the person who was interested. The deadline passed without a firm offer. And so it came back to your agenda tonight for a decision on the ultimate disposition, if you wanted to go forward with demolition or not. As we prepared the agenda for the night, we have received, and it's in your packet, we've had two separate proposals from the same individual. Mr. Preston Reed is here and he can describe to you what he has in mind. He has to say you have two alternatives in front of you. So I would suggest that we invite him to share his vision and then you can reply accordingly.
If you would like to go forward, come on up. Preston here.
Not like public speaking, but so I've submitted two proposals. First proposal is if I were to renovate the building. So basically, I would try to retain as much of the historic fabric of the building. My current plan is to renovate it into two apartments. That way I would not have to worry about the back porches where the bathrooms currently are. My main point in this is I just don't want the building demolished. It's a historic building. There's not another building in town like it. There's not another building on the Eastern Shore like it that I've seen. And I've been from Cape Charles up to Wilmington. So that's my whole plan. Basically, there would be two two-bedroom apartments. And the building does have to be listed. So the financial investment is going to be between $300,000 and $400,000. So for that reason, I'm asking for the building for the whopping price of $1, but that immediately saves the town $9,000 they were going to spend in demolition costs. That's proposal one. I have a meeting with Hebron Savings Bank on the 22nd to talk about loan options. They typically only finance 75% of the amount. So it's going to be quite a substantial investment from me. I want to carry those construction costs until it is rentable. Now, I have rented a building, a house in town at 102 East Market Street to Olga that I bought from the town for $1,000, and that was $1,000 too much because I basically had to rebuild it, but I kept it looking exactly the same. And it's now, paying taxes. It's, an integral part of the East Martin Street. So I would ask that you at least give me time to explore talking to Hebron Savings Bank before you make any decisions on demolition.
Do you have an appointment with them? soon?
Yes, on the 22nd.
22nd.
So, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And then the second proposal.
Second, anybody have any other questions on the first proposal? Okay, second.
All right, so the second proposal, I think, makes more sense for the town. And that would be to incorporate it into the Julia Purnell Museum as a secondary building. The entire first floor could be exhibit space. The second floor could be collection storage and offices. The reason I say this is, again, going back to my first proposal, there's no other building like it in town. And I think to demolish it, we're going to lose a historic structure and we're going to have an empty lot in the floodplain with a pump station. It's not going to be, prime real estate. So that's why I think saving it is the better option. Now, it could tie in nicely with other proposals I've heard from the council with the African American heritage, and their experience, and what better way to promote that experience than by saving the building where people lived and died. So I think we should take that into consideration. And then renovating the building is going to be a huge financial outlay for an individual like myself. But the town and the museum all qualify for grants. And I know Paul probably doesn't want to hear, but that's money that I'm not going to have access to. And it can be done in phases, and I've spoken with Tina at the museum. She's interested in exploring the idea. So for this proposal, I think we should hold on demolition, give us time to look at the building in more detail, come up with some type of plan, find out how much it's going to cost to raise it. Because for either proposal, the building has to be raised at least 7 inches according to the flood elevation. So I'm just asking for time. And when it comes to preservation, it's never easy. There's never a good time to preserve a historic building. And I just think saving the building, especially as a museum, is the best idea for the community, for the museum itself, the Julia Purnell Museum, for the town, because it retains a historic building, helps us keep the charm of the town, which we're going to lose. And if we keep tearing things down, what are we going to have? We're going to have a vinyl clad subdivision, which I don't think is going to be great for tourism. And it's also, the second proposal is better for funding, just because of the grant situation. So for either proposal, I'm just asking for time to explore either one.
Okay, council, questions for Mr. Reed? Mr. Wade?
What is, discuss your plans for the town taking it down. Is it to become part of the Julia Museum and it would be under that umbrella?
Yes.
The museum? So
my vision, and the board, I'm on the board, by the way. So that, that could change, but just one suggestion is, there are 6 rooms on the first floor. You could have 2 rooms furnished and decorated with probably some of the collection that we have as what like an African-American family would have lived in the 1920s. You could have other rooms dedicated to like rotating exhibits. I said, there's just endless possibilities when it comes to the exhibits itself. And then the upstairs, right now, it's not handicap accessible or ADA compliant, but in the future that could be remedied. But in the meantime, it could just be for collection storage, because I'm pretty sure in talking with Tina that there is not enough storage space for the collection. It's all kind of ramshackle, and there's not enough office space. You could even use it as meeting rooms. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities.
you can tell that you got my interest when you've talked about it, because I was saying, let's go for it, but when you talk about saving that's the only struggles. Many decades to try to do that.
Well, I've actually been working with the town for years to try to get this building to save it. And every mayor is like, just wait till the next mayor, just wait till the next mayor. Well, and I know there have been other offers for the building. So if you want to revisit those, that's fine. My primary objective is just to save the building.
What would be the timeline, you believe, that you're working with, if either one of those projects?
Well, for the individual one, like I said, I have a meeting with Hebron Savings Bank on the 22nd. So I'll know more then about what they require and what I'll need to produce. So at least a couple months for that option before I can begin. For the museum, that's going to take working with the town and with Tina to come up with a more detailed plan. And Tina, as you know, is also head of the Ratcliffe House Trust. And so there is experience there in redeveloping a historic building back into its some type of former glory.
I mean, I have a couple of obvious concerns. I mean, we had a museum that just hemorrhaged about $100,000 and probably never gonna get that money back, let's be honest. They're facing a total digital loss down there in terms of their display. We've got a Herculean task trying to get this museum back online. And now we're supposed to create another one from the ground up. And museums aren't cheap. They start off at about $200 to $500 a square foot, depending on how much interactive material you have. So that's a cost on top of just renovating and raising it. And these grants are going to get harder to find, in my estimation. They're not going to be more plentiful for Maryland, especially not now. Not federal grants. And the state money is drying up. So I am more interested in the housing option than the museum option, just because of our current state. I mean, there's some hard fiscal realities we have to face here.
Right. But the one thing about the museum idea is, and you can talk with Tina later, but they don't have enough space.
That's
and
right.
Where else are we going to get space that no one else wants? So
Only thing I would be interested in terms of the museum, is that if it could tie into like a museum trail. So if you have the Freetown Center, the Purnell Museum, and then this exhibit.
Well, that would be
like your historic walking tour museum setting.
that would be easy to do, I think. Well, not easy. But like I said, preservation is never easy. It's gonna take years,
It will.
the museum idea. But the building, if you look at the building, it's not sagging.
It's not.
It's completely level.
It ain't gonna get more derelict. It's at the bottom.
No, it can get more derelict, but we could do some basic things to shore it up. There's one spot on the roof that needs to be fixed.
Okay.
We can,
Who's gonna vote?
Dan had good ideas about boarding up the windows from the inside so people can't break in. So there are ways to do that that are cost effective. I don't think it would be that expensive to put some security lights on the building. Motion censored, that is not an expensive option. Just until we have time to explore the idea. And if the town really wants to sell it, I can be on board with that too, but maybe put a for sale sign up so people know it's for sale.
But then when you look at the for sale, I love the idea. We also still have to think about the pump station that's behind it.
Well, both options, if I develop the building, I'm fully aware of the pump station and the land meter for that. That's not a problem. And if becomes part of the museum is owned by the town, it's not an issue either. So I don't think that would be a problem.
Have you had a chance, have you met with Dan, Brandywee, and Rick, and gone through everything that you would need to?
Well, not everything, but I gotta get the money first before I even, so.
We did a pretty good review of the building code, the floodplain ordinances and that sort of thing. So
Okay,
we've got a
just so
pretty good
you,
idea of what's in
we're
front
up
of us.
front, you know everything that's going to
Right.
have to be done.
My plan is if Hebron Savings Bank is interested, and they did sound interested, so that's good. The next step, I gotta call somebody about lifting the building to see what that entails and what the cheapest option on that is.
Dan, anything to offer? You've already kind of,
Encourage them to look at doing a structural analysis as well. That with all the defects and obstacles to overcome, but beyond that, I think we covered everything as far as things that may have to be approached in the future, such as variances, front yard additions, porch additions, parking possibly, but, I think we covered all the topics.
I mean, the benefits to the town if I do it are, there's gonna be 2 rental units that would be affordable theoretically, depending on construction costs. It helps to rebuild the tax base and it retains the historic charm of Snowville. And if it's part of the museum, it's still gonna retain the look and charm of that street. You have to look past what it looks like now. Imagine it painted, entryways over the doors, maybe a picket fence. I mean, it could be nice. So.
any other questions?
So
I-
Three,
I like to know where your mind is really going with, as far as renovating it and you saying affordable housing.
Well, it all depends on the renovation cost, but because I have to at least break even. Whoever renovates that building is not gonna make any money. It's gonna be a break even at best case scenario. So it would be 2 2-bedroom units. I mean, Olga rents from me. It's basically gonna be like taking the one house I did at East Martin Street and just doubling it times 2.
So the town contributes about what, $94,000 a year to the Purnell Museum. For a whole nother museum, we'd be looking at another probably, what would be like, another 94,000 or more. to
It's not
renovate.
really another museum, it's just another building for the museum.
It's a whole nother museum, let's be honest, that's what it is.
Depends on how it's organized.
That's, I'm looking at the cost.
Well, you wouldn't need any more staff, it would be the same.
Who's gonna run it? Who's gonna keep it? I mean, they can't be in two places at once.
No, I think that Preston's thought was that the museum moved from its current location into that at some point when it would be ready to be occupied. For the vacation.
Well, I'm asking for time to explore with Tina in the museum more about how that would work.
You can give them time.
Can I say?
Well, we need an action.
I would say if the museum town of Snow Hill contribute $94,000 to the museum. To add additional building, you will need another person. You cannot, either way you look at it, you gotta have another person there, either increase the part-time person.
Yeah.
Hours.
Well,
That ain't happening.
there are volunteers, there are docents, there are lots of ways to add people without adding much cost.
There's also the cost of taking care of the building that as well, healthcare. So you got
Yeah.
utilities, insurance, you take also got in, and I don't know how the insurance works, being that it's still building, it would be remodeled, but structure, compensation, and all this was, this is, you can't factor without getting
Okay.
this. And also, I only know how, having what's been tested at that building, that's one thing that concerned me, tested, because I don't know, they say that it's possibly concerned, but I wouldn't be one to make that call unless that building, part of that structure is pulled off and tested to see that it's even can handle new structure. So that's what this is.
Well, that would all take place during,
Correct.
I mean, an analysis, and then every building in Snowville has rot. Every building in Snowville has some mold. That building is timber frame. It looks big, but it's very narrow. It would be very easy to replace a joist here, part of the sill there. That's all common, easily done in construction.
Well, we had a motion to demolish. Is there a motion to demolish at this point?
I'm for giving Preston more time to work out the details. I don't like where the costs are heading at this time now. That's fair. That's all right.
That's your motion?
Yeah,
Okay.
give me more time, get the details right.
Do we have a second? One more time.
Anybody want to give him more time?
Mr. Lee, you're seconding? All in favor, say aye.
I'm sorry, could we have a time definite or at least a range in the motion?
You say you're going to 22nd?
That's when I have my first meeting with Hebron Savings Bank. I'm not gonna have an answer on the 22nd. They're coming on site. We're gonna look at the property. I have to give them all my financials.
Okay, what's a workable deadline for you?
You said 2 months.
Maybe March 1st, maybe.
All right,
You want to do?
Well, I can give you an update on March 1st.
I'll
How
do
about
March
that?
1st.
Well, let's
Okay.
do this. Could you bring it to us in a work session at the end of February? And then you're saying March 1st, we have another work session that we could see your plan at the end, and then we can make a decision on the 3rd.
Okay. I mean, I doubt with either proposal, I'll have an entire plan.
Right, but I meant.
But I might have some funding information for the individual proposal.
Cost.
And I might have, like, my main concern is to find out how much it's gonna cost to lift the building.
Yeah.
The rest of it is not that difficult, I don't think. It's mostly just the raising of the building.
All right, are we giving him, so March 1st? You
Yeah, I'm
have a plan? Is that the motion?
Yeah, it's from me. I'll make that
You
motion.
make that motion, and is there a second? Second, Mr. Lee, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're giving you permission. Get to work.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, all right, okay, B, now, we had a public hearing, this is under unfinished business. We had a public hearing at 5:30 where we had, multiple, presentations, from citizens regarding a declaration of the old firehouse as surplus public property and acceptance to offer to purchase. as presented during the public hearing. So any discussion on that at this point? Mr. Lee?
Now I'm gonna read the statement into the record, and then after the statement, you made an official proceedings to this memorandum, is to mayor and councils from Everest Lee, council person Eastern District, subject Saleville Fire Station, dated January 13th, 2026. I will not be voting on the sale of the old station, on the old fire station, because of the proposed sale price is demonstrably too low. And because of my previous comments that are part of the record on this transaction. Based on 5 current commercial listings in Lower Worcester County, similar properties are being sold between $45.90 and $168.35 per square foot. A conservative trim average of $85.97, 95 cents per square foot. The town is proposing to sell this public asset at $24.12 per square foot, roughly half of the lowest comparable and less than 1/3 of a conservative market average. Price per square foot. The lowest comp was $45.90. The trim average, that's as low, high, no low, $85.98. And the conditions just in the municipal price is between $40 and $55 a square foot. And the current proposed price is $24.12. I fully acknowledge that the building needs work. That justifies a discount, but not a discount of this magnitude. Even with condition adjustments, the price closer to $40 per square foot would be fair, more reasonable. $40 per square foot would be far more reasonable. Once sold, this asset and this leverage is gone forever. In addition, selling the building creates costs for the town. Renting space back from the new owner, or the need to construct replacement storage, likely a pole barn or warehouse, which will reduce the which will reduce or eliminate any near-term financial benefit. I'm simply applying common sense, basic math, and the stewardship of a public asset. Given the magnitude of the sales price issue, combining with my previous statement regarding the overall sale, and in the lack of full transparency concerning this entire matter, I cannot support the sale of the old fire station. Thank you.
Mr. Lumpkins.
Yes, I'm voting to sell the firehouse. I believe that dissuading investment in the community, it doesn't say that it drains it. I don't see how, to me, it's a real simple question. It's not about progress versus history. It's not about, development versus, it's a question of decline and stewardship. The building is in a state of decline. It's available to no one right now. If we let it be renovated, it would be again available to everyone. So we can either choose finally to be good stewards where previous administrations and council members have failed and do the right thing, sell it to a buyer with a comprehensive plan on what they want to use that facility for and we could actually have an event space where we can gather as a community. I mean, to me, this represents inclusive growth. This is a setup where we are the beneficiaries here, and they will be taking on the liability of bringing it up to code if they want their occupancy permit. The buyer has already said that they're looking to more rent the space than go out and party plan from it. So we're gonna expand the tax base, which is really beneficial to like our most vulnerable residents, because they feel the rise in taxes the most. To me, it's a win-win situation for the town, and I'm voting to sell.
Councilperson Fletcher?
It says discussion and decision regarding declaration of Old Firehouse as surplus public property and acceptance of offer to purchase as presented during the preceding public hearing. I will say, in our first closed session, my mind went towards selling. But everybody needs to hear and know that in 2023, it was declared as surplus property. It was not agreed to the whole council as agreeing to put this up for sale. It's a great idea. However, after researching and looking, and me not being here, hearing everything from the last town meeting, which I thank Mr. Bickford for meeting with me personally to give me more information. But researching prices, and I know it needs work. I think if we're gonna sell it, we need to go to the table and renegotiate for more money.
Mr. Bickford, do you have?
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
Mr. Lee, as a real estate agent, I'm sure you're aware of this. When you put a property on the market at a below market value, it tends to bring more buyers, more offers. Your property has been on the market since June of 2025. You produced a total of 2 offers. The offer that you're looking at is the highest valued offer that you have received. You received significant airplay on news stations, newspapers, more than even we could have paid for. Brian and I paid for lots of advertisement promotion. But the fact that it was a town selling off a firehouse was very interesting to news centers, stuff like that. Your story has been carried far and wide. An undervalued property will normally always bring out buyers, and buyers would then compete in offers to try and secure the asset. Yours has not produced anything but 2 offers. Most recently, that's why you're now looking at it. For the majority of the time that it was on there, it was looked at, but no one made any offers. People walked through the property, looked at everything that you had to offer, reviewed your paperwork, and made no offer. The offers that you're looking at are the only things that have come up. If you feel your asset is undervalued, do you believe that you will get more offers by increasing the price? Because that's very unlikely. You had plenty of time for your property to be viewed in the public space, and the best offers have come forward. Unfortunately, it's the only offers. So your assumption that your asset is so much more valuable, I'm not sure what properties you compared it to. But normally, if any investor with the money to make a purchase sees an undervalued asset, they go right for it. That's not the case with your sale. That's all I can offer, unless you have some questions. Thank you very much.
So does that help? Or to understand why they put it at the price they did?
maybe just a few more.
Still feel like we should negotiate for more money.
I don't think we're in a position to. You can't make people pay more, they're just not interested, they're not coming out with it.
Yeah, if I may, Mayor. You notice in my tenure here, I don't lean on the experience of my profession. I give my time to this position. And, and for me, it is not about the cost as such. As I said, I think everybody in this room, not every, most of the people in this room know the discussions and know my position about why I am opposing the sale of the old fire station at this time. It's about the welfare of this town. It's about building this town to where over the years, and even in this current discussion, we talk about the things that we want to see and what we want to do in our comprehensive plan coming and community engagement. I looked at the offer that was made in terms of specifically the partnerships that the seller talked about, and none of the partnership language was in the agreement itself. That struck my attention, and I was certainly, and I'm still interested. I'm not speaking against the offer as such or the people who bought the offer. I think that there's a greater value for this community, to this community. You know, the question is, do we want to pay that cost? And that cost is, it can be substantial in maybe. And I don't know that it will or it won't. I don't know the dollar value. But to allow the town to sell that property or ask the property to be sold, not the town's allowed, would be sold at a value that caught my eye. I think that the agent for the seller makes a good point. That if you have a property on the market and it's not selling, well, what do? You take it off the market or you reduce the price. That's normally what's being done. Normally what's done in real estate. But I think in this case, the town needs to do, I believe, the same thing that we've done in terms of the previous issue that came before us, before this particular item was brought, is to take the time, give the time in terms of where the town is going now and what it's planning for its future. That whatever that time is, and that time says where we are in our comprehensive planning, which is December the 31st, to be completed, and all things, if my memory serves me correctly, 60 days prior to December the 30th, we have to be finished the town planning portion of it, where we're going with our comprehensive plan, which, going back some time, maybe another 10 or 15 years, it was suggested some time before that fire station, the fire hall represents the focal point or the center point for the town in this planning and development. I have a problem with looking at where we are planning to go, where we're spending energy, say we're going in a kind of a factual way. And then the most critical piece of real estate in that whole plan, the center part that divides, that brings downtown and the rest of the community together, downtown, we're gonna give it away for what? It's very upsetting for me. I know that there are those who say, feel, and I respect them, that look how long we've been in this battle, fighting this battle. Yes, it's been a long time. But, you know, there's an old saying that says that the dark is out just before dawn. I must speak to, and I see the body language of some, and I feel that I know where the energy is going with this conversation, but I would be remiss sit here and not speak to you about what I believe is the best thing for this town. The best thing for this town. And the best thing for this town is not to give that property away, not to sell that property, but use it as the piece to rally around and bring this town to where we are struggling for it to go. Selling that property right now to anyone, guts for me, and for those whom I speak to, it guts the opportunity to live.
Okay, Councilperson Pumpkins, you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like a vote to sell it is a vote to save it. We don't have the resources to bring it up to code. This person is willing to come in and do it to get their occupancy permit. I also would like to point out that I put this all over Facebook with my email saying, please contact me, community. Give me your feedback, all of you, on everyone. Residents of Snow Hill, Snow Hill Live, neighbors of Snow Hill. I did not receive one single email telling me not to sell. I'm here as a representative. You guys tell me what you want, and I'm your advocate. The logic makes sense to sell, you know? I honestly believe, you know, it's the will of the people that governs. And, you know, we may have $4 million in the bank. That might be a lot in your personal checking account, but for a town, that's not a lot. Doublesburg's got $1 million in the bank and they're bankrupt because they owe $5 million. It can happen. We need to put ourselves on the best financial footing possible and making $300,000 off this sale. We do that. We would be able to pay for some infrastructure things that we need to. And it just doesn't make sense to hold on to it, you know, because we could build, I don't know. I think a community center where people can engage one-on-one is really the best thing, an events venue. If you want the people to come together, there it is. It makes sense to me.
I just want to add a couple thoughts about the firehouse. And speaking of the comprehensive plan, I know we are going to try to get the input from people all along this process for the whole next year. We are going to get community members to come in just like tonight, to give us background on their thoughts. And I think on the public hearing today, we heard from the people. We heard strongly from the people who took out time from their lives to come in here and express their viewpoints this evening. And it seems like to me that if we don't listen to you, we don't hear you loud and clear and expect you loud and clear at the comprehensive plan, is that going to change your opinions in this coming year? Not from what I heard tonight. from the majority of the people who were here that took their time out of their evening to come in and talk to us. And so it sounds like we're rejecting our constituents, we're rejecting our citizens' point of view by not selling this firehouse to someone who wants to be a part of the community, who wants to get involved with the community and cares about Snow Hill. I don't think we're gonna be happy with any decision against it. But I'm not sure what we're saying here as far as we're asking for more money from the potential buyers. Is that it? Like, how much are you thinking about? Is that realistic in the realty world, is asking for more money at this point? I mean, Clint, would you answer that?
It is not unusual to counter offer on an offer made to in any form of transaction. The particulars of what you have asked of a buyer in this situation is a little different. You know, they've had to put together, in most situations, a buyer just simply proves that they have the finances to buy it and submits a contract. Don't like the price, you counter it back. In this one, you have asked each buyer to do something that's very unusual, which is prove what they're doing has some benefit to your community or whatever. Not even sure how that pans out in what you're actually allowed to do. You know, it's asking an awful lot of a buyer. If you're going to go back and counter them, you have to remember that they put in an offer and wanted to get a decision in a timely manner. We're now several months away from the timely manner. So if you're agent and you counter, yes, you can. Is there a likelihood that they're going to stay along with the deal? I don't know. Like I said, you know, of the offers received, this is the best offer since Mr. Lumpkins has read into the account of what the offer is. You've got to realize you're getting 92% of your requested price. Really not a bad offer. Yeah.
And we're also asking for them to have to bring it up to code and renovate it.
Yeah, I mean, the investment is significant as you've demonstrated by both your inspection report and the number of estimates for work that you have had done. Clearly, and those reports were done some time ago. I mean, most of that's a year to 2 years ago. The building didn't get better condition while it's at.
Yeah.
So, as your agent and trying to give you a best case scenario, it is my opinion that the price is good considering the marketing of it and that, the value that you've gotten is good and that what you're asking of your buyer is significant. You also have to remember that even if they do accept it, they have a time period to determine that the property is satisfactory to them. They have to go through and do a study period to have their contractors, inspectors and everything look at it. They may develop more problems. And those problems also may make them walk away. So if you come back to them and try to hit them for more money and they do stay along the way, then anything else that they find wrong with it may be sufficient that they decide that, they're not going to remain in the deal. So, yeah, as your agent, yes, you can ask for more money. In my opinion to you, I think you're getting a good deal as it is. Yeah. And if you don't mind, as a town person, your constituency came out kind of strong and told you what they thought. And so I would hope that you would listen. Thank you.
Anything else? Councilperson Fletcher, does that help you at all?
Well, I said what I had to say. And that's it.
So what if you're asking for more money? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I obviously agree with everything Mr. Bickford said. But I wanted to say, as a town resident, if you want to talk about the potential for this as a town, something the town can utilize, the time to do something with it was 20 years ago, when the town first got it from the fire department. It's in the state it's in now because it's been neglected. I wish the town could hold on to it, I really do. If it was in better condition, then we could list it for a higher price, try to get more out of it, but that's not where we are. That's not the reality. And as a real estate agent, I will say the current offer, I believe, is a good one, a strong one. I think these people are great people. And I think that the business that they will bring to the town is significant. I've seen several emails that have been directed to either on Facebook or emails sent to the council where businesses have said, yes, we will utilize them. We will work with them. We will do events. People want to work with them. And I think that's what the council needs to listen to, is the rest of the downtown businesses. That's all.
All right. So once again, Councilperson Fletcher, did you want to ask for more money for the sale? Yes. What would you like? What are you thinking about?
At least 75,000. That's over the listed price, I know.
That's not the listed price is $375.
Let's go to
He
375.
wants to go to $375.
That's well over list price.
That's what?
Well over list price.
Over list price.
$50,000 over list.
Yeah, I don't think that's good.
50,000 over.
I think that's.
You know, he'll say. At this point.
Speaking.
Mr. Lee, what are you thinking about?
I didn't put a price on it. I didn't talk about it at all. I'm talking about value. We're talking two different conversations. I didn't talk about putting a price on it.
Okay, you were stating
I stated
those right here.
this, and I'm not gonna belabor this. The agents I gave Mr. Bickford at our last meeting, I think it was the 6th or whatever. My concerns have already been stated. This is only tonight and observations. I'm not gonna put a dollar value on it. I'll listen to the council.
I mean, I honestly think the price is just fine because once they start ripping stuff out and they try to remediate what's in there, they may find that it comes back. So it may take more than 1 or 2 tries. They just don't even know. So we want to give that business the opportunity to succeed. We want to send a message that we're a welcoming environment for businesses. We don't want to price gouge people out of our market. You know, the woman has the resources to bring it up to code. God knows where she's gonna find it. I want to send a message. I think it could be a strong message that we could send as the council to the rest of the Eastern Shores that we're a place that is pro-business, is welcoming and inviting. We're not sending that message right now.
So I need some direction from the council.
Vote itself.
So, Mr. Lee,
Already stated that.
no,
Nope.
and Councilperson Fletcher,
Stated mine.
and you're what? You're a no?
Listen to your constituents.
I said, I would agree if we went to a table for me.
Okay.
We can't hear what she's saying.
Just
Well, I
get a
don't know
little
why,
closer.
the speaker's right here. I read in my statement. Want me to read it again? Evidently, people were talking when I was talking. That's part of our rule too. Not be talking to this I said, I read the statement that's on the agenda. It says follow-up discussion and decision regarding declaration of all firehouse as surplus public property and acceptance of offer to purchase as presented during the preceding public hearing. And I said, I'm not agreeing on that the property as surplus, putting it for, no. I'm letting you know that it was put up for surplus property. Yes, the council agreed on it. The council did not agree on putting a for sale sign on it. So therefore, it was, I know you don't have to. So you could put this for sale sign up first and then you can negotiate. The negotiation was not with the whole mayor and council at all. I love the idea of what the lady has brought before us. And I said, unfortunately, I was not at the last closed session. And I thank Mr. Bickford for taking his time out to meet with me to tell his side. I did not hear from Mr. Lee nor Mr. Lumpkins. I already had my decision made, which I was leaning towards the sale of the firehouse. However, researching prices in this town and other municipalities, I think the town needs to consider renegotiating the price. Yeah, I think I had the microphone close enough for everybody to hear that.
Yes, Brian.
Just one more thing real quick. Once, it's everything here, you got this meeting being shown online, and when it gets out how difficult the process is, it's going to be very difficult to find another buyer. This offer is a great offer, and you've got somebody willing to take on the work. That's an extraordinary thing that I think is not being considered as it should be. If this gets rejected, it's like I said, it's gonna be very hard to find another buyer, and then you're gonna have to figure out a way to come up with the funds to do the work yourself, or it's just gonna sit and continue to deteriorate. It's been sitting as it is now, not getting any better. You've got somebody who is chomping at the bit to come in, do the work, start their business. I think it's an easy yes.
Hold on. Yeah. All right, so motion, someone can if they want. Someone can make a motion if anybody want to make a motion. How long? And we give more time.
Give more time, but I said, I agree to it, but I just want to come to the table. So I can make a motion that we come back with this.
After some more thought.
Yes. Well, I totally agree for the sale. I just don't agree with the price. And if you heard what I said.
We did. We did.
Yeah.
We heard.
Thank you.
We heard. So what's your motion?
To sell with a higher price. Try to negotiate a price.
That's the motion on the table. Do I have a second?
Could I interrupt for a suggestion? I wonder if it would be more appropriate for a motion to table this
Okay,
while council considers or remains open for a renegotiated price.
okay, do I have a motion to table it?
Ms. Fletcher already made a motion, so it's whether she would like
Okay.
to rescind her motion
You
and
want-
make a different one, and she does not have to do that if she doesn't want to.
Motion to table.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? One, Mr. Reed is opposed. Okay, so we will table that until we get more information and look at the price more closely. Okay. All right, new business. Ordinance number 2026-1, declaring the homestead property tax credit for fiscal year 2026-27 be set at 3%. First reader. Councilperson Howard, can you help us understand what's going on?
You had the work session with Lou at your last meeting where you guys had a discussion on the homestead tax credit. The county was reducing yours to 0. Yours has historically been 3%. You all agree that you wanted to keep your homestead tax credit at 3%. The very short summary that this ordinance reflects keeping the homestead tax credit at 3%. You see that on page 2, where it says the tax credit percentage for the town of Snow Hill effective for the taxable year beginning July 1, 2026 and subsequent years shall be 103%. Also, you say that's a 3% cap.
Okay, any questions for Attorney Howard? Any questions? Or, all right, do I have a motion to accept ordinance 2026-1 on first reader?
I make a motion to accept ordinance 2020 on first reader.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ordinance is passed. Okay, section B, appointments to boards and commissions. Attorney Howard, can you explain the appointment process by mayor and council or according to the charter and code?
Sure, the mayor is charged with presenting the council appointments. Providing names for the various open positions that you have, and then council is there to confirm or not confirm the appointments.
Okay. I want to explain just a couple things about the commissions and the appointments here. I am so excited that there are 10 people in our town who have stepped up to the plate and said, I am here to volunteer. I am here to put my time in. We had long conversations. We had phone calls. I've been working on this for at least 6 months, if not more. I have presented to the council on at least 3 closed sessions. And I have tried to make sure that the people who were asked came from certain districts also, because on most of our boards, we like to make sure, except for the election board, but we like to make sure that there are people from every district, because we need feedback. Even though we're a small town, our districts can be much different in their opinions towards certain issues. So not only are we looking at people who are really in civic groups and organizations that benefit our town already, and then they're stepping up to be on our boards and commissions. It is not always, that everyone has, time to put in to this. But, I want to say that, on the planning commission, the planning commission is very important to our community because it is in charge of the comprehensive plan. And as you all know, we're starting the comprehensive plan, right now, and we have a consultant until the end of the year. So according to state, our local code, our charter, we need 5 members of the planning commission. The last meeting that we had, we couldn't get 2 items of business done because we had someone absent. You have to have a quorum in order to vote. And for one piece of information, another person had been absent for the minutes. So that's very important that we make sure all our meetings, we can get the job done. So we're looking at, Tony Bevilacqua, Eastern District, Marvin Ames, Western District, and Olga DeShields, Central District. And some of these are appointments and reappointments. We have Brian Coates for Ethics Commissions. Housing Review Board, is Jake Larson, Western District, Stephanie Holly, Central District, and Sarah Welch, Eastern District. And you can also see what their term limits are. Some of these commissions and boards have different terms. So everybody has possibly a different term limit. We try to stagger it so we don't have everybody coming off at the same time. Board of Elections, we have Jan King from Central, Carolyn Brown, Eastern District, and Marty Lebeski in Central District. The Board of Elections, this board has been together and works very well together as a unit. They've been trained for many years now, and we're trying to keep them, they're a good team together. I think we also have another member of the election board with us, Teresa Milburn. Thank you for just coming and supporting today. Her term is not done yet. She's still in till a couple more years. So we are looking, I'm looking at nominating these folks. And I don't know whether we have any questions or discussion on that before we get started. If we pass those students, I'm a teacher now. Those citizens, we will be able to give them their oath of office this evening. So we have some of you with us, I know, that we can go ahead. If there are people who could not attend, they can come to town hall and get their oath. Okay, so let's look at the Planning Commission. And do I have a motion to accept the members of the Planning Commission?
I make a motion to accept the members of the planning commission.
Do I have a second? Do I need to do these individually? Or can I do them as a commission?
You can do a group, but if it's going to be helpful to the process, you can certainly do them individually.
Do I have a motion to accept Tony Bevilacqua for the Planning Commission reappointment?
I make a motion to accept Tony Bevilacqua.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second? No. Okay, let's go to the Ethics Commission. Do I have a
You
motion?
just did Tony. Are you going to the next two or are you
Yeah, you
skipping to?
Oh, Tony, I'm sorry. Marvin Ames. Do I have a motion to accept Marvin Ames to the Planning Commission?
I make a motion to accept Marvin Ames to the planning commission.
Do I have a second?
Oh, my.
What's the whole here?
Do I have a motion to accept Olga DeShields?
I make a motion to accept Olga DeShields.
Do I have a second? Okay. Do I need to go through, are we going to be voting on any of these?
I'm abstaining.
You're abstaining from any of the votes. Mr. Lee?
I'm not voting.
You're not voting. Are you abstaining?
No, I'm voting no.
You're just not voting. You're voting no?
Now, let me just say why. So, I hear you.
Yeah, I'd like to hear why.
What's taking place and you and the public have a right to know. I'm gonna give you one example.
Thank you.
Just one example. And I'm not gonna mention the name of the person. Council will know who it is. One of these persons, and the mayor brought this up at the last planning work session meeting, came to see me, came to my home. He called me and I invited him in and had a long meeting with him. And I said to him, I gave him some literature about my concerns for Snow Hill and the values that I place on moving this town forward so that we do not have a repeat of what happened in 2010 with our comprehensive plan, where, when it took place, the community became involved a lot. For those of you who remember, it was prior to, right after the Summerfield project. And for those of you who were there, know the energy in this town that was associated with the Summerfield project. However, the wishes and desires documented, and I gave this information to the Planning Commission and to the chairman of the Planning Commission. This individual and I had a great conversation. I said, I gave him this information. I said, don't make a decision on this here tonight. I want you to read it, digest it, and come back. And if you feel that you can join in helping to move this agenda forward, I will be with you. Two things happened. I had not heard from him. He did not come back. And at the meeting, I believe it was the last work session we had on the topic, the mayor mentioned this individual, which I thought, and that he was at my house, which I thought was very, very unprofessional. Very, very unprofessional in a group setting. And in fact, I'm gonna leave that there. The other piece that's taking place that the community needs to know. The most important committee, in my opinion, is the planning commission that we have here in Snow Hill. The planning commission is in its final stages of making decisions. Let me back up. Is in its beginning stages in making plans for the 2025 comprehensive plan. There's another committee that has not been mentioned here tonight. The Charter Revision Commission. We have spent over 2 years, folks, over 2 years, meeting regularly to scope and create a plan, a comprehensive plan that is representative of a Snow Hill that we want to see going forward in terms of having the charter reinforce and enforce a forward-moving, forward-thinking Snow Hill. The Planning Commission has oversight of all these commissions and the comprehensive plan, which are all linked together. To change people on particularly the planning commission at its late stages now is almost criminal. That basic governmental policy and planning policy is in the late stages of planning, where the decision making is coming down to not to put new people on that committee. And that's what's basically taking place. It's a struggle right now going on. You're asking what's happening? It's a struggle for power going on in this town. And you know, I see it, I feel it, but there's no need of denying what's taking place. And when it comes to this, to placing people on these committees right now across the board, folks, it's just not where we need to be. We don't need to be in this position, but we're there. And to deny it and say it's not taking place, I'm sorry. It is taking place. So there's a person on one of these committees that's been on it for its beginning, from its beginning. And that person is not being reappointed. I'm not mentioning names. I want to be very careful about this. But it's real stuff taking place. It's real stuff taking place.
Mr. Lumpkins, you have something to say?
Yeah. I mean, for me, the appointments are about community engagement. You know, it's a comprehensive plan. It's not a space shuttle launch. I have confidence in Tony, Marvin, and Olga to be able to step in and make sound decisions. Okay? It's like we want community engagement, but we only want it in certain terms. You know, if we don't approve anybody, is anybody going to want to come forward again? And then we won't have quorums of these things? I mean, we can say we want all the community's input, but then we scare people off. We have to make a decision, go one way or the other. Either you want the community engagement, even if it doesn't reaffirm your point of view, or you don't. You only want that reaffirms your point of view. And that's fine, but be honest about it.
Well, this is very, frustrating to me. As a mayor who, I had a person come to me after, and we tried to get the state secretary here of planning who came and gave a presentation. And I had a person come to me afterwards that was so touched by what was said. They came to me and said, I need to be a part of this. I would love to do this. And this person even came to us and got more information from our staff and was so excited. I mean, that means so much to our town, to someone who wants to be a part of the writing of the comprehensive plan and work with citizens to come in and get all their ideas, and to stifle that and shut it down does not make any sense. It seems like there's some obstruction. When I had one, I asked for a closed session and I was voted down to even go into a closed session to talk about the nominees that I was trying to promote and suggest. I have asked the council to even give me suggestions. I mean, I nominate, but council in the past has given me suggestions for people on, and I think I did that when I was on council, right, Mayor? And we worked it out and we presented people and gave them their oaths, and so that they could be on the boards and commissions. We have to have elections every year. And we have a good team of election workers who work very hard to make sure that we're going to have an election in May this year. And Housing Review Board hasn't really even met in the past couple years. But when people resign, you need to have those committees ready in case someone has a problem with something that's being asked of them from the code official. So in order for our town, the governance of our town to move forward, we need our citizens actively working and being available to help people with any problems that come up or any planning for the future. This is the future of our town. And citizens should know that it's being stalled. It is not going forward. And it's very frustrating. I have a plan, I have charts, and they're on the website of everybody who came to me or that I approached about being on a board. I have your addresses, your phone numbers. They can call you. The council could call you anytime and ask you if, questions about why you want to be on it. I mean, they had that available to them. Be able to talk to you if they had any questions. And now this is happening where we can't, what's the solution to this? What do we need to do to get people on board? I can't just nominate. I can nominate, but then I need your vote to approve it.
Mayor, you said, what do we have to do? You mentioned that the Secretary of Planning and Development team, I work day and night to make that happen. And for the first time in the history of this town, beyond where we've been, and what's exciting the secretary and other people in state government and people here in Worcester County government, who are the drivers of grants, cooperation, and building. Snow Hill now, for the first time in the history of this town, will find itself at the end of this comprehensive plan in alignment with the county and with the state government in terms of planning and development as it relates to growth, as it relates to annexation, as it relates to building. And it's because of where we are at this time to take the advantage of it. And certainly the mayor's right. You do need people on these committees. She is absolutely correct. But to take a committee as vital as the planning commission is, and its leadership there at this point, I don't know, we're in a session, part of the session right now that the audience does not normally participate in. But I will tell you, if it were, I don't want to start mentioning names. So this person, while I am totally supportive of some of the people on this committee, or listed on these, or being nominated to these committees, I'm going to vote no. Why? To place people, again, I don't care who it is, on a committee that's been working and why it is recommended that it not happen, that could impact the entire committee's work in delay and for any other reasons. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I did not see what happened to 2010. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I did not see what happened in 2015 when a gentrification scheme was put together for Snow Hill with another name on it called revitalization. I'm not going to sit here and I don't spend my time to come up here and camouflage and be dishonest. I spend my time, my energy, my resources in building for this town. But folks, there has been, and there are some who have worked against the interests of this town. I appreciate this staff. I don't have the relationship that I would like to have with all of them. I appreciate them because they do a job. They do a credible job. The majority of the people on here do a credible job. But when it comes down at certain times, with certain issues like the 2020 comprehensive 2010 comprehensive plan, like the 2015 revitalization program, they get structured in a way that keeps us where we are. I'm opposed to that, and I'm going to always be opposed to it. I'm for Snow Hill. I'm for the people of Snow Hill, and I'm going to continue to work for Snow Hill and be as direct and honest as I've been on these issues.
Janet, is there any way a person who's zoning and planning could actually say something?
There.
We have another item to go to, and then we can get comments from the public. Yes. Yes, you can. I just see this as really, citizens, you are the ones that are aggrieved because there is an obstruction here. And I think you need to voice your opinion and to stay after we go through this next item and give council your opinion of what's going on here. Okay, so can we table this? Can we make a motion to table?
We have to.
You don't necessarily do the American. You brought back another. Bring back. Okay, we'll bring back at another time. Okay, let's look at C, the 2026 15th annual Snow Hill Oyster Roast alcohol permit. Do I have a motion? Does anybody have any questions on that?
No.
Do I have a motion to accept the 15th annual Snow Hill Oyster Roast alcohol permit?
I'll make a motion to accept the alcohol permit.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The permit is approved. Okay, comments from the public. Please make sure you signed up in the back. If you have comments to make. And John signed. There's another one over here. Here's another. Thank you. Okay, James King.
Absolutely appalled what you're doing. But you sit here and pretend that you're for the citizens of your districts, and yet you won't say a word. You say a word, but you don't say anything. How dare you keep all these boards that we need from being appointed again? And Eddie, you said, I'm sorry, Mr. Lee, you said you didn't, am I irritating you or something? You said we should not change in the middle of the year or whatever. We shouldn't change these board members. Everybody on that election board that is up for renomination has been there for years, and they know what they're doing, and you need to approve them. I wish you would give me one reason why you can't approve them. I've got 2 minutes, 8 seconds left. And I'll stand here and look at you. Why won't you approve these people? Why won't you act? You say you want to move the town forward, but you're against everything. I don't understand. So please, give me one reason why you want to reappoint these board members. You have nothing to say? I hope there's a lot of your constituents here tonight to see how you behave with this.
I'm just gonna be silent. I abstain and I'm gonna be silent.
Yes, you are to be silent. That's not what we elected you to do. We elected you to represent us, not to be silent. Not to agree with somebody else just because you're maybe afraid they won't like you. You're up here to represent us.
I'm not.
You are up here to represent us, and you need to take some action.
Do I need to say? I will say for each one in our closed session, I said it's time for flesh, blood on the election boards.
Why?
You have, because people need to be trained. You are getting older and people need to be trained. Yes.
Oh, I am 75 years old. And I'm.
Yep.
Yeah. I am trained. So you.
I know you are.
So you want new people to be trained and just throw away all this old.
No.
Knowledge. Okay, well, what do you want?
I want new people on.
Why? Give us a good reason why.
Oh,
No, I don't have to give a
Madam
reason.
Chair.
No, you don't have to give a reason.
Oh,
Okay, we're, thank you.
Okay.
Preston, do you want to speak? If I need to, you said.
I'll just say one thing. I think want to discuss the sale of the firehouse. Perhaps to satisfy different groups, what about asking as part of the contract that the new owners give Snow Hill 2 hours every Tuesday? Well, not every Tuesday, but one Tuesday a month or something like that, if that would help move the sale forward.
Under 2 hours of
2 hours of event space time.
event space time?
Yeah, every first Tuesday of the month or whatever your meetings, whenever you want to have meetings. What if that would help move the sale along?
That's a good idea. Yeah, thank you. Olga, shoot.
Council, Mayor, my name is Olga DeShields. I live at 102 East Martin Street. Thank you for everything you do and for upholding town's best interests while doing so. There's so much. On the firehouse sale, I did witness so many saying yes to the sale. I believe this council needs to recognize that we vote for the sale and the timing is not in our favor. We are going to lose if we stall. It's just how life works often. And then second, I believe Preston's offers are so worthy of considering because he has done this before. I live in a house he has restored from the point of where the town was going to take it down completely. He has done it before, so that tells me he can do it again in a practical manner and deliver. And third, sorry. This meeting has brought a lot, and a lot to mention and consider. Just on the matter of me going for this planning commission, being a member, I have been living in this town for almost 20 years. I have been part of the Main Street Volunteer Initiative for a good part of it, which has taught me a lot about how important it is to work for the best interest of our community. And I have learned a lot of important lessons. And hearing the secretary's presentation has inspired me to express my interest in being part of the team that puts the comprehensive plan together in good faith. As good as I can, I will put my best foot forward, simply because I want this town to thrive. And thank you, Councilman Lee, for bringing the secretary to present the comprehensive plan, the implementation guide. I have glimpsed further more, and I believe with that in mind, we can make it work.
Thank you. Rob Hall.
On the sale of the building, I tend to agree that I don't think, at least not enough information has been presented to the public. I've heard a lot of fluff. I haven't seen a lot of documentation, and maybe I don't need to, but that's my concern. As far as the majority of town residents running in to support this, there was less than 0.5% of our 2,100 residents. So please don't try and use that particular stick. It doesn't fly. As far as what Preston does, Preston's work is well known and good, and either proposal would be wonderful for the town. There are things that need to be considered, and things that need to be detailed, sure, but, I think his plans are the best for the building. In spite of what some people have vehemently said everywhere they put on Facebook. As far as the committees go, my understanding is there are one or two items that were of concern that you were perfectly aware of, and you chose to bring this up tonight, and you knew what was going to happen. And this is typical of some of the things you've done in the past, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Now, the other two of you, your council, all three of your council people, you have a right to have your choices, but when you know, and you've known these people as long as I have, when you know pretty much what's going to happen and choose to make it public just for the sake of controversy and your own power, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Okay. All right, let's see. Dana. One more. Huh?
Yeah, I'm Dana Green Schloser at 202 South Church Street, here in Snow Hill. I am also a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission committee as well as the Historic Commission. I am very happy and proud to be on those. I do not do this for fun. I sure as heck don't do it for notoriety or anything else. I do it as a civic duty because I love this town. I moved to this town to get to a place that was smaller, more loving, and even though it's a rural town on the eastern shore, no dispersions, it is one of the most inclusive small towns I've ever been to. I want to make a big difference with the comp plan. I want to hear what all of the residents say, and I want to implement that. I'm not into reifying structural racism or the gentrification. I am also a minority as far as being a female, a single mother, a daughter of a part Alaska Native child, and digging myself up from poverty as a child. I find it very frustrating that these planning commission people couldn't even get a vote. This is insane. One of them is somebody that's just being re-upped. So that's the same person, continuity. One person reached out to me to ask about it and if it was going to be something too much or what would be the impact. And we had a great conversation. How in the world is a planning and zoning commission supposed to get anything done when we're understaffed? Some people want to move off. They have. I miss the people that have moved off, but we have a job to do. I want to do that, and I want to do it with a very good, sound committee. And in my last minute, I'm going to just say the other thing that I loved, even though government and this small town government, I'm going to say with a little g, can be messy, it makes a heck of a lot of sense. I am a federal employee and I'm working in situations that don't make jack shit of sense right now. I have people throwing up roadblocks every sense of way. I have efficiency, which is another name for just slash and burn. I was hoping to have some kind of slight semblance of sanity in my own town. And this is hugely disappointment because I feel like I'm just part of the cog in the machine that I see going on already, which is hugely inefficient and does no service to anyone.
Chase Phillips, you still there? Okay.
Chase Phillips, 116 Ironshire Street. I am pretty appalled. Like as a young person, to see people that have been members of our community for a long time, I see deflections and controversy and problematic rhetoric put above solutions. Some of us talk about, Ms. Ardley, you talk about solutions a lot, but they're so vague. I don't know what you're saying. I don't mean disrespect by that. They're so abstract that I don't know the solution that you're trying to put on the table. For the sale, regarding the sale of the firehouse, a financial catastrophe. And I truly believe that, and I'm sorry to put it so harshly, we're not gonna get more money. That's not realistic, with all due respect, Ms. Fletcher. In fact, seeing what occurred tonight would probably make a buyer just walk away. We're gonna have, we're in a low income town. We have working class families, as I mentioned earlier, that are struggling. And if we do not put the dollars and cents right now first, we're not going to have infrastructure. We're not gonna have a downtown. And then regarding the appointments, I am truly disgusted, and it is the reason that this sort of environment is the reason I got off the planning commission, because I didn't feel empowered. I felt kind of just beat down by it all. To see Marvin Ames and Sarah Welch and other board members here, these are all stars. These are people that are volunteering their time, and we just, excuse my, for lack of a better term, we just slapped them across the face. And that is so disappointing to me. It's heartbreaking to me that at a point when civic engagement in this country is so low, it's the lowest it's ever been in American history, we are telling, in our little small town, somehow making a political mockery of it. We need to put these people on the commission, and if there is an issue, we should have worked it out. I just think the whole thing is, the firehouse needs to be sold. It's too late now. If I was a buyer, I would have just walked away at this point. And as far as the civic engagement and leadership or the volunteering of these positions, it kind of reassured my resignation from the planning commission, and I do planning for a living. So I try to stay optimistic that we never, I'm going to be optimistic that we never have a meeting like this again. And I'll just leave it at that. Thank you.
Thanks. Marvin? Ames?
Hello, Marvin Ames, 210 South Moore Street. I just like to agree that it's been a long day, being here, listening to a lot of stuff. When it comes to people volunteering their time and trying to be on different boards and different things to try to move the city forward. Everybody I think that has volunteered that did not get a vote tonight, really does deserve to have a vote. Me personally, if you don't want to vote for me, I'm fine with it.
Then just vote no. Then just say no, don't abstain from it. Oh, I'm sorry, Marvin.
And I'm fine with it because I mentioned that in the past. I think back in July when I had the first closed door meeting with everybody here, I invited myself to be open to emails, phone calls, or stopping by their houses. And in conversations that we've had, when you're told flat out that you will not ever get that chair or be a part of this because of something that might have happened in 2010 or 2015 or something that happened back in the 40s or the 50s. I wasn't here for any of that. I have no dog in that fight. All I want to do is see the town of Snow Hill grow. I would like to see some more single homes in here, single family homes in the town. I would like to see that happen. I would like to see the town's water and everything get fixed. I would like to see the planning and zoning department actually be a part of whatever's plan is for the city. How can you do anything without that? Having two people or whatever it is now on the board, and you're talking about talking to the state. I mean, I was a part of the state myself, and I was a part of a large union that had to go and talk to the governor's office and meet with the state senate about lots of different things for Salisbury University when I was there. So what are we doing? I mean, it doesn't do anyone any good to not put people in these seats. I don't have to be there. I don't have to. So please nominate everybody that's here and put them on the boards. Just vote against me. I'm voting.
Thank you. That's all the comments I have, from the public, comments from the council. And let's make these, short. Councilperson Fletcher?
I respect everybody's comments that I've heard across the floor from everything tonight. I have been silent for a reason. I listen, and one thing I want to talk about is the appointments and the boards of commissions. This would not have had to happen tonight if my email was respected, and that's all I'm gonna say. And thank my town workers for being here this day. Sorry you had to be here this day.
Councilperson Lumpkins?
Thank you all for coming tonight. It's good to see such a great turnout. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Councilperson Lee?
I want to thank everybody for coming also. And, goodwill, the goodwill that I heard tonight is not meaning. I appreciate what that young man said back there. I will try to correct that in the future. I just want to thank you for coming. I want you folks stay connected to the comprehensive plan as it comes through. While what is being said, particularly from this seat, you will begin to see it more as we go forward. In planning and development, it's just like building a house. You've got to dig down, you've got to plant seeds, and you've got to watch it grow. And while you don't see it right now, I do. I do. And I'm so glad, it's positive to me to hear your comments. It's positive to me to hear your comments and be reactive to what has been planned and what has been developed. Those things that you don't see and understand what I'm really talking about, oh, it's just rhetoric, oh, it's some more of that same old stuff. Folks, the groundwork has been laid. Stay connected to the planning commission and the comprehensive plan. As we move forward, we'll make a difference together. It may seem hard, but we do.
Okay, thank you. Oh, just finally, very quickly, budget season is coming up. I have talked about this in the past, work session, and we're meeting with departments, and we are presenting a letter of requests on February the 11th to the county commissioners. So we have had a couple meetings so far, and they've been great. Thank you, staff, for working on these budgets and doing the best you can to present to us your needs, your wants, and you've done a great job. So I just want to commend you, and we have some more coming up. So thank you so much. Right. I also want to talk to our administrative coordinator who puts these packets and everything together, and our live streaming, and I know she doesn't want me to say it, but she is doing a great job. Listen to me every day, and God bless you. So, but anyway, I have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a second.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Dan got it.